Hello, and welcome back to this next segment of My Hashimoto's Nightmare with Alison Rand, who shared her story of what happened after adopting her first child, the diagnosis that was a 5-year struggle for her to be properly diagnosed so she could actually start to do something about it. I'm María Tomás-Keegan, your host of From Upside Down to Right Side Up, Tips for the Transition. It's my pleasure to share inspiring stories like Alison's. These are stories of figuring out how to move through life's inevitable trials and tribulations and coming out on top in triumph. They help us to know we're not alone in what we go through and what we feel when life turns us upside down. Hello, Alison.
Hello.
Welcome back, and thank you for letting us see behind the curtain of your life with the adoption that was such a big part of it, and then struggling with your health and being diagnosed with Hashimoto's. So I'd like to talk now about the emotions you went through on that journey. So would you share what you were feeling as you went through it? And let us know how you dealt with all of those emotions.
Sure. There are a lot of emotions, a lot of so many struggles, and some of the things I was dealing with on a daily basis. I mentioned the no energy. I wasn't getting proper sleep. So that made me very irritable. I feel like I'm a very patient person. I'm very gentle with my children, but I was, I wasn't necessarily patient during that time. And so it was almost like who am I in this moment? Because this isn't who I am. This isn't a reflection of, how others see me. And yet in my home life, it's my safe zone. So I kind of let my guard down. Whereas when I would go out in public, you just put on that smile and, you just push through it. But I was starting to not go in public. I was going less and less because I was essentially isolating myself because I just didn't feel good. I didn't like how I looked. I had gained a lot of weight. My skin many people thought I had rosacea. I had eczema on my hands so severe that alone made me not want to leave my house. That condition, wow, I didn't want to have people over for me to cook meals. I didn't want anyone to see that these hands are serving food. That was honestly one of the most challenging things for me, is because that's something you can't hide. You can't put a smile on eczema. And I couldn't go around wearing gloves in Phoenix in the summertime, so that was hard. On my relationship with my husband, my goodness, he's a blessing to me that he didn't understand nearly half of what I was going through, but he was there as best as he could and supported me in whatever road I needed to take to find the answers I needed. So, and my children don't honestly remember a lot of this time. we were just talking about this yesterday. And I'm like, oh, that's a blessing in itself, that they don't remember mom the way I remember mom. And I think it's just because they were young. They were, very young, and now they're almost 11 and 13. So that's been wonderful, because mom guilt is real. I mean, that's a real thing. And I'm glad to know that I didn't leave those scars the way I thought I was.
So tell me about the journey through those emotions while you were going through them, and the frustration you must have felt in not finding the diagnosis for 5 years. That's a very long time. And it is a blessing that your kids don't remember that. But you do. And you wouldn't be sharing this story if you didn't want to help others by virtue of sharing it. So tell us a little bit about how did you overcome those emotions, the guilt, the frustration? How did you overcome those?
I cried a lot silently, in the bathroom, where you can escape. I journaled my feelings, because there comes a point where you do think, I didn't think I was necessarily, crazy, but you're like, am I crazy? Like, this is. So lots of tears, lots of journaling, because I needed to see patterns. And so when I would see a doctor, it's like, no, look, this is all going on. This has been going on for so long. And, I needed to try to get to the root cause for myself, and just know that I love to journal in general, but to be able to see patterns, and that was really beneficial for me. And, I slept a lot at that point. So here I used to go from not being able to sleep, and now my kids are getting older. My husband's able to be home more. So that was, for me, part of my healing journey, because I think I was so exhausted for so long. I just needed deep sleep, and that was self-care for me. And I didn't see it as anything more than self-care. And that was a huge part. So tears, journaling, and getting that sleep. So when I was with my children, with my family, I had more energy for them, instead of being depleted for 18 hours a day, essentially.
Wow, those are just great. Thank you for that. Journaling can be such a cathartic thing. Just recording. It could be videotaping, or you're talking into your iPhone or something. Just journaling it in some way, keeping a record. I love that you did that, and that it helped you to share, to remember and share with your doctors exactly what was going on. Like you said, finding the patterns. So you've been so transparent about this emotional piece of it, Alison, and I appreciate that so much. And I am certain that in our next segment, there are going to be some beautiful lessons that you're going to share with us. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear them. You've shared a couple of tools and techniques that you've used here with the journaling and allowing yourself to cry. But I want to get to those lessons, what I call the golden nuggets. So we're going to do that in our next segment. So everyone, stay tuned. Till next time, I'm María Tomás-Keegan.